live. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. What are we doing today? Okay, I can close this. Today I'm a little sick. That's okay. We are going to try to. Well, I was gonna figure out debugging in Emacs, but I think I'm just gonna skip over that because I think it's gonna take a lot longer than I think. Maybe like 30 minutes or so. But I kind of just want to get straight into game stuff, to be honest. I like with Lua, I don't even really use like breakpoints or anything that often. I'm more use someone like I'm doing application coding or MATLAB or whatever, so it doesn't really matter. Because with game coding, I can just literally display stuff on the screen for debugging or like do print statements, and this just kind of always worked. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is create some kind of like dev mode for the game. So normally, right when I start the game, the player like spawns in here and falls to the floor because there's gravity and whatnot, and the items are still up in the air, and I need to figure out how to fix that. We could work in tiled a little bit, because tiled's super cool, and I can make separate layers for what is background, and then when they're imported as Lua files, they have a layer string attached to them, so like layer 1 or something, and then I can just take that, and when I parse it out, I can do different things. So the background, like I can just draw, I can end up just drawing because I don't really care, and they also end up being objects that are collidable, which again I think it's just in that layer 1 code. But I haven't messed around too much with it, but I think if I want to do like a spawn point as a layer, then the spawn point can be fed into like the player XY spawn position. Well, yeah, it gets output as a .lua, so that could be fun. But let's work on the dev mode first. So basically what I want to do is if I start the game or toggle, so on start or it has a toggle, basically I stop using gravity and I can control the player left, right, up, and down. Because it is a platformer game, I don't have controls even for up or down. It's just left, right, and jump, so I can implement that. But I don't know really where I want to put that. Because we could put that like in the state code, so like dev state, and add a toggle, but then I feel like I would have to feed it into everything, like the player, the enemy, the objects. But so let's take a look, because in this state, so we're in dev room state, it would have to be on update. So on update we do, let's see, do we not have, we should be updating all of the right here. going too far. Let's make this other window a little bigger. So we'll do like that. And so you can see that basically if it has certain tags, it'll do certain update functions. I should have fixed this. Yeah, this is definitely not the best way to do this, but it's definitely a little bit temporary. But basically on update, we want these different things to know whether we're in dev mode or not. And I think this is the best area to do that. Maybe I just feel like I'm feeding too much stuff into, like, instead of I'm really sure why I'm doing this. Instead of feeding all of these dev state variables into here, why don't I just feed the dev state itself? I don't know if that ends up being like, yeah, can I just insert self? This is gonna sound really weird, but let's go to my player, because my player on update, yeah, we'll take in gravity, object handler. So like, what if I just take in a state, like itself? So, because right now what we're doing is, that is so bright. Why did that come out to be white? Okay. Right now what we're doing is we have the state, and inside the state we have the player. And on update, so on update, for different things we need different variables for each update. So I'm wondering if instead of feeding those individual variables, so like gravity and whatever else, what if we just feed the state? Is that going to create some kind of like weird feedback loop? I don't know. But anyways, if we feed the state, then we can just grab the specific variables that we need from the state, and then we don't have to have this huge thing. We can just say every object needs the state, and then we can pull certain variables. So, let's do that. Let's create a new branch. Let's grab a shell. Let's do get switch. Actually, let's get status. Okay, we're up to date. Actually, I don't need to pull anything. Okay. Get switch C. And we're gonna switch to our. We're gonna switch to a new branch. We'll call it state to object on update. That's kind of a long name, but whatever. I didn't like that. Why did it think I still did? Oh, I did exclamation point. I am used to working in MATLAB. Sorry. MATLAB, you have to put an exclamation point in front of every gate command. There we go. Switch to a new branch. All right, we'll switch our buffer back, and let's just do this. We are going to grab this, and then we're just going to delete the whole line. Oh, I didn't mean to yank the whole. There we go. Okay, and then we're just gonna put self in here, and then if we go over to our player, we can see we're taking in DT. I think every update function should also take in DT. So that's going to be apart from the state. So we're going to do DT and then self. And then we're going to need gravity. So local gravity is going to equal to self dot dev state dot gravity. Yeah, so something like this where we're just pulling the variables that we want. I don't know. I really don't know if that's the best way to do it, but it's a lot better than every time I create a new object, like over here, I have to add it to this continuously growing thing where it's taking in different things. So we'll try it, let's do it. So yeah, because so the object handler is going to be specific also to the state. So that kind of just makes sense to do that. These are all going to be showing errors right now. That's because I'm not actually passing in the dev state yet. So local C down is equal to dev state. Because, I mean, the one bad thing about this is I'll have to type out all of these for what I need. But I guess I have to do that in either circumstance, so it doesn't matter. So let's grab, so we'll still need window width. Yeah, because these are also supposed to be dev room state, not. So dev room state dot window width. Is that just like that? Does it know dev room state? Where does it know that from? Because I'm not passing it to this object. Let's do. I'm trying to remember how to search and replace in Emacs. Emacs search and replace. Query replace. We can just do m percentage. Oh, I think that's just like command. Or is it cm? That's regex. Okay, percentage is weird. I might change that later, but it should just be meta shifts percentage, query replace, dev room, and we'll do dev room state. Yeah. Okay, did it only do the one? Hello? But there's probably just a query. Okay, query replace. Yes. Replace 0 occurrences. Because it's dev room, so we want to do dev state, dev room state. Did I get it wrong again? Close that up. Dev state to dev room state. Am I just misspelling something? Dev state, dev room state. Replace 0 occurrences. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess we're doing this manually. Dev room state and dev room state. I'll go back, delete dev room state. Yeah, I need to figure out the query replace. Yeah, so these aren't being used yet, which is fine. No, they should be. They should be inputs. Yeah, I don't know why they're underlined. Because we haven't actually defined them anywhere because we haven't put in dev room state yet. So let's go up 4 lines and we'll change that back. So we'll need window height, so let's do that. Window height is equal to dev room state dot window height. Okay, so we'll go to the top here, and yeah, so we're only taking DT, and then we'll take in, all we need to take in now is just dev room state. There we go, now they're all defined. Okay. Interesting. Well, okay, now we don't even need to do that. We just need to go to our object. We just need to go to our object here, and we'll go to update, and we just need to take in DT and self or state. Oh no, it shouldn't be dev room state because this is supposed to be. Oh, okay, this is supposed to be for all of the states, so we can just do state like that, and we'll just do local DT. So, okay, this is interesting. If I'm inheriting so here, like I'm inheriting the update function table, meta table. If I never use, do I just need to say like DT equals DT equals DT in the other one? I feel like that'd be really weird, but hello Marina Cat. What is this icon? I like this icon. Alright. So if I'm inheriting from the object update function and I'm seeing that they're unused, like, do I just need to do like DT equals DT? I feel like that'd be really stupid. Is it just self.dt? No, because I don't want that to be a part of the player. But I want it to get passed through. Okay, we're just gonna try it the first way first. Oops. So let's get rid of this line. See. Yeah, I really don't know if this is gonna work. So we'll do here, and we'll go back to our player. And so theoretically, we don't need to take in this anymore. And we just need to take in state. No. Okay, I'm thinking of this completely wrong. So we'll keep it the way it was, like that, and then just every inheritance we'll just put in the same one because it's 2 variables. So I don't really care, to be honest. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I'm in this weird mode. All right. So we'll go back to our object buffer, and we don't need either of these here. And then we'll go back, and this theoretically should work now that I changed this. The other one should also still work. So we'll go. Do I have a buffer on this side for shell? I do. I forgot we're still debugging. I would prefer not to debug. There we go. Let's go back to this side. I also don't know why I'm printing like a billion tables. I think that's from all the tiles that are getting created. So I need to get rid of that too. But we'll do. I think I have a debug somewhere here. Yeah, just get rid of that. Okay. So now if I run it again, attempt to perform arithmetic on local gravity. So that's in update move 66. Let's go back over here and change this buffer to my player buffer. So player 38, update move gravity. Because gravity is not a, let's move this over. Let's go back to here. Gravity is not a variable of dev state. That's a local variable in dev state. So if I go back to my states and change dev state, and I go to gravity, I think I can just do, let's get rid of that. And then we can just, this is probably not best practice, but this is fine. We'll do self.gravity. And I think the same thing applies for C down. So if we go to C, is C down? Oh, I think that's from the base. I think C down is from our base state. But let's go to key or key pressed. I have if key equals C. I don't know where I'm getting C down from. I think that's from my base state, which is this is inheriting from. So yeah. Okay. And so that should be a part of my dev state as well. There might be one more variable that is not being passed through. Yeah, local object handler. So the object handler is not a reference inside of dev state. Let's see, object handler. Yeah, so maybe I could just do that on init. So if I get rid of this whole thing and let's get rid of you as well, and then I can cycle through my stuff here, tab that in, and this is just gonna be because object handler is specific to the state. I could make it specific to, I don't want to make it specific to base state, because I do want to clear it out, and I do want to like garbage collect it when I change states. So interesting. So local object handler. Let's see. So we have self.object handler. Should get init here. And then it should be passed. Oh, let me just make sure it's getting passed correct. Well, it should just be part of self. Self.object handler. And then we pass this. So self.object handler is created initially here. And then it's getting passed on update. It's getting passed on update here. Oh, because it needs to be self.object handler. And I think that should be the last one. Oh, okay, so I need to fix the rest of them now. Okay, so it's working. I just have my other objects that I need to refactor to be in this form factor. So, okay, this is great actually. I just need to go to each one of these because this is in player entity object. Let's try it one more time and trace this. So it's on player init, entity init, object init, object add to handler. In 73. So 73 is like here. Oh, okay, this just needs to, so every instance of object handler, it needs to be an instance of the state. So we'll do object handler. Yep. Yes. Yep. Okay. Back self.object handler. I am very much regretting doing underlines for variables now that I switched to Emacs. There should be a way to include underlines in a word, because when I go forward and backwards, it does not include the underscore. So let's see. Alright, so there's a bunch of these I need to fix. But I think this is going to end up being better anyways, because then I could keep it to, like, I don't think, so gravity I can actually put inside of base state, because gravity should always init the same. Yeah, these, oh, it's not an object handler. I could be searching for these, but I'm lazy. Yeah, those are things that, like, but I want to create a new object handler when I move to a new scene, like the pause menu or something. Okay. So that should have fixed it. Let's see. Same thing. Did I not save or something? 73 in function push. So this is gonna be in function push. Function push. Load. I don't have a function push here. I don't know if that's what that's referencing, but see, I wonder if I just grab this, right? And I put this here. Sometimes I've had issues with init versus it's still gonna error, but I've had issues with init versus enter, because init is the first time it's ever called, and enter is every time you enter the state. Oh, this is different now. Whoa, 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 whoa. 122 in add map tiles. Yeah, okay, so the player one is working now. Oh, I just missed these. The player one is working now, so that is a good sign. So yeah, that's a good sign. I don't want to put too many of these, but we'll see. Hey, we are in the game. Cool. Cool, everything's working as intended, which means, okay, this is super great. I'm gonna commit this really quick. Git commit. We'll commit, let's see, gravity and object handler are now state specific. Cool. Git push. Oh, I didn't push it when I created it. Upstream state to object. I don't have autocomplete in this terminal, which is really annoying, but that's okay. Git status. So we're on. Did I do origin? Git push set upstream origin state to object on state. There you go. Okay, I just didn't do origin. Alright. Cool. So let's just make sure it's working. It's working. We're creating tiles. Nice. Alright. So now that we have that set up, we can for sure, let's search for update. So for every object that's in our object handler object table, I think we can just, this is gonna sound crazy, but let's just look at every single one we have, right? So I think the base object, so let's go to object. Base object should take in DT and a state, no matter what. And then every update function after that, so if we go to let's see, objects, and we go to our, say for our enemy, for example, enemy is pulling from also this, but I think because it's, since we are overwriting, we still need to pull in DT and a state. Now this is where things get a little interesting. I guess it wouldn't also hurt to make my player also part of the state, because that's going to change as well. No, we kind of only want one reference to my player. I mean, at least all these other ones we can knock out. I do not want to do that. I don't know how to get rid of the context window without... I guess I can just go forward or back. Yeah, see, sometimes it just doesn't go away. But we'll have to go back to... Let's get out of here, go to my buffer, dev state, and then wherever my player is, wherever we initialize, let's see, here, let's just get rid of this. And then also wish this would remember. So we create a player. Let's just do self.myPlayer. But then every time we call my player, we'll have to, let's do replace string. So we're gonna replace my player with self.myPlayer, since now it's part of the state. I think I'm fine with that. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's... I don't know if that's the right way to do that. But I mean, it kind of makes sense because the player is part of that state. And then when we move to a different state, we can just feed in that reference to the player again. Okay. So if I go over here, guess apparently this doesn't get used. Yeah, so that's all the stuff that gets updated in here. So now we need to go to like our enemy, and it's gonna be, oh, none of these are self, I'm stupid. So in here, we'll do replace string, self.gravity will just be state.gravity. And then we'll do self.object handler is going to be state.object handler. And then self.window width is going to be state.window width. That did not work. That's okay. We'll just replace them. So that's state. And state. Because I originally wanted to do the state for or like the self dot in my dev state for stuff like window width, because that's just never going to change. But we'll see. State.myPlayer. Now let's do a quick run. This should not break anything. Uh-oh, we're putting in way too many variables. So let's go back here, and all we need to take in, let's go here and grab all of this stuff, delete, and self, because self is our state. I'm gonna do this one by one, just in case I don't just so I don't miss any of them, like interactable item and tile. But then at the end, it's just gonna be for object update dt self. I think it's a good way of doing it. There we go. Cool. Make sure everything works. Nice. Alright. I also want to make it a little smaller, because it was pretty big for debugging purposes, but we can do that in our base window. Yeah. So our scale factor just needs to be 1. And then we can go back to you. There we go. And now it's the same scale, but a smaller window. I think it runs a little smoother. Looks a little better. Alright. We can kill this buffer. Yeah. So if I go back to here, so this works. This is good. And what it allows for, no. What it allows for is going back to our dev room state and just doing, I think object types will come in handy later as well, but for right now, we'll go to our, let's find our interactable, and in our interactables, search for our update interactables, and it looks like it's taking in, oh good, just the object handler and the player. Good. And then here as well. And then here is, well, oh no. This is in check collisions, which should be called in hover interaction. So hover interaction gets called down here, and then hover interaction does check collisions with the object handler. So we only need to do this in one spot, which is super nice. Very nice, yes. Okay, so we will do state, sorry, this is just our classic DT and state. Cool. And that's another one we can check off here. Yes. It's a little bit of a long way of doing it, but I'm just want to do it just to make sure. Yeah, so anything else that, so let's do item. So item on, I actually don't have an update because it just does object update, to be honest. Although, although, maybe we should just make its own. So it says it needs to take in this, but it never gets used, and also, I think we just need to do that. And then object handler's fine, because that gets called from update. Right? Because this is all from interactable, so and that should be fine. And we're just overriding interact from interactable. So let's go to tile. Get rid of the white space. So this literally does not even get updated. It just adds to tiles and then updated as objects. So I don't even do anything for it, although we'll do this DT state. Even if they're not being used, we'll probably use them eventually. So now, theoretically, we should just be able to grab all of that and just do object obj update dt state, or self, because self is the state. Good. Reduced like 20 lines to 1. I don't know what I did, but go here. Okay, that worked first try. Very cool. Nice. And that is gonna make one of the dev mode be so much incredibly easier to work with. So this is all good. This is great. Cool. I am going to be right back. BRB. We are back. Maybe we change the music. I'm getting bored of the music. Let's do about video game lo-fi. Okay. So I don't need this anymore. Let's see what's on the original agenda. So let's try to tackle this. This right here. Dev mode. Yeah, because now I can just do state dot dev mode, and it's just gonna be true or false. And then in my update functions for my stuff, I'll just create a whole separate function for if I'm in the dev mode. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's do. I really wish I could use the init block, but I'll have to look at that. But there's something weird going on where when I do like self.variable on init, it like works half the time. I don't know why. But if I put stuff in enter, then it's a lot better. So let's do self.devMode is equal to, let's just start it as false. And then let's see, I already had debug mode. Okay. So we'll call this debug mode. And then basically if we press D on the keyboard, then debug mode will be true. And if it's true and we press it, it'll be false. Super easy stuff. Let's do like just a really easy thing. On update. So on update, we'll do if self.debug mode is equal to true, then we'll just print debugging dev stuff. Okay. And then we'll go back to our project. Cool. Okay, that's not doing anything. So let's go back to our init. Self.debug mode. So we start it as false on enter, and then if the key that was pressed was D, then and if self.debug mode is false, then self.debug mode equals true. Okay. Maybe we just put a print statement in here as well. Print debugging stuff. Let's see. Okay. But that shouldn't... Why are we turning back to false? Because the second time I press it, it's pressing it every time, which means it's becoming false in update or something. Why are you... Why are you updating? Oops, I'm on the wrong screen. Why are you updating to... self.debug mode on enter is equal to false. If it's not updated anywhere, so why are we printing that every time? Can I not do like if statements in here? I don't know if I can do if statements in here. So I can just do like, oh, I can. I should be able to. Print debugging stuff. I'm pressing it every time. So if it's false, set it to true, and then print. But then this should not hit the second time around because debug moved to true. And then it should be equals true, then that equals false. That is very weird and strange. You just do like self.debug key is equal to true. Tab that in. Well, I'm going to do self.debug mode is equal to true. Well, it's not debug mode, it's debug key is equal to true. And then we do whatever we want with the debug key and then set it to false. So we'll do update here if debug mode or debug key is equal to true, then print debugging stuff and set debug key. Oops. Self.debug key is equal to false. Right? And then it's just on every. So now we're just looking at the key presses and then worried about switching the mode. Yeah, so that should only go for one frame. That's fine. And then immediately set it to false. So what else do we want in here then? We want, so if self.debug key is equal to true, then we can do like debug key why are you the way that you are? Why is it doing that? And then we'll do self.debug mode is equal to, so this is where we can do if self.debug key is equal to true and self.debug mode is equal to false, then print debug mode and then set the self.debug mode equal to true and that equal to false. And we'll do else if self.debug key is equal to true and self.debug mode is equal to true, then these both need to be tabbed, kind of. Why are there two ends? I don't need two ends. Wait, why does this have... where's an else if I can reference? Yeah, else if should only have one end. What is the syntax? So if end, if, then else if, then Oh, I think it's fine. Whatever. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is turn the debug key immediately off or false. And we'll do self.debug mode is equal to false. And we'll do print stop debug mode off. The Minecraft music is going insane right now. So let's make debug mode on and debug mode off. I feel like there was a much easier way to do that. Just debug mode on, debug mode off. Okay, we have a state. I don't like that. I feel like that would have been much easier if I could do that logic in the key press, not in the update thing or whatever. And then get rid of the jumping thing. I don't need that anymore either. Get rid of that. Okay, let's push this. Get, what branch am I on? Yeah, let's do get switch. Well, we might have modified all of those. Let's just include that in there. Let's just do get add or get commit, and we'll commit, we'll say refactor to reduce update to one function with DT and state input for objects. And we'll get push, and then we'll get switch. And we'll create a new branch that is debug mode. Okay. New branch, debug mode. So now that we have a debug mode for our state, the idea is for every object, let's go back. So we have our toggle, and for each object we want to do different things. So we want to separate out our functions into like turn off gravity, but that's going to be for like just the player or something. So let's go to our, I did not mean to open that. Let's kill this buffer list. Let's go to our player, and we have all of our variables. Let's separate this. Let's do variables from state. Oh, and we also didn't change this, which is fine. Go away. So I guess we'll just delete all these and do state. And we'll do here like this. Place string in region. Nice. Okay. I was really hoping it would do that. State with state. Yes. Perfect. Guys, I promise I'm getting better at Emacs. I promise. Okay, and then this will be all local update functions. So we can do something like, I don't want to do a big if statement. I think I can do go to continue. Is that what that is in here? I'm confusing another language. Go to continue, and then it's like colon something. Yeah. So if state.debug mode is equal to true. Do I want to do it this way? This might make it harder, but guys, my girlfriend is very cute. Okay, so I could do a continue that is skips over these update functions. So we'll do go to continue, and it's gonna say I don't have a continue, which is fine. Actually, I didn't mind it. Let's go to the end, and I think we just need to do like this. So if it's true, we will not be able to move, basically. And that's the idea. So if I run this, I should not, gravity shouldn't affect me, and I shouldn't be able to move. Wrong. Oh, debug. Yeah. Yeah, okay, perfect. Can't move, can't do anything. Let's start debug mode in true, and then I should be floating. So debug mode equals false. Okay, where I init this, so true. And yeah, I'm frozen in air. Okay, good. Okay, so we're skipping over our regular things. So now we can just make a separate function where I can just move around, like, what is it, like no clipping in like Counter-Strike. So see, I want this to be really clean. How do I make this really clean where I'm not having a bunch of indents? I think if I do like, because basically if I start putting stuff here, then when debug mode is off, then it's gonna hit these, and then it's gonna hit these too. But I don't want to do like, all right, I'm gonna have to put it in an if statement. So, it would read easier, I think, if we started it with false. And let's put a breakpoint here, delete this, we're gonna yank this, and we're gonna throw it in here, and format it, and then we'll do else if state.debug equals true, then and we can get rid of this as well. So this is just control some backspace and get rid of all the white space. Cool. All right. So now we can create our own functions with like, we can do like a function player. We can do like, let's try to keep the same naming convention, but we just add like debug to the end of it. So like update move. So debug update move. And I know that's gonna take in like DT or something, but well, we just need an end and tab it somewhere. Okay, so we'll do like, what did we have in here? So for updating move, we have stuff like gravity. So maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want, let's grab all of it copy it, and we'll paste it. And then we'll decide what we want and don't want. So we don't care about... We don't need any of this, actually, because we don't care about collisions. I want to... We could care about collisions. For right now, it's not care about collisions, so we'll take that out. So potentially add collisions back for debug mode. And then these, like, gravity's not gonna affect anything, so we can just do our y velocity times dt, x velocity. Honestly, we don't need any of this. So let's grab that. That was the worst possible way I could have done that. X velocity and y velocity will just be these. And then we will need update physics, maybe? What else do we really need? Oh, update velocity. Yeah. Okay, let's grab this. Whoops. Set a marker, go here. Copy. Okay, now I'm reconsidering making multiple functions for just the debug mode stuff, but I think it's gonna come in handy because I think it'll get messy if I start adding a bunch more debug stuff. And then I have to fit it in with the regular function. And then I can just know, like, okay, if I just choose the other function, it'll be the same thing as before. So if keyboard is down and x velocity is less than or equal to speed, then, oh yeah, because we have a capped speed. All right, this is fine. This is fine. We can keep the dash, because why not? But let's just do if, because I can't believe I have to implement up and down movement now. Is down up and self dot y velocity. I should just yank this. Set a marker point. Yeah, and I'll do copy. Go to the end of this line. And we'll paste it. Paste. Okay, so if up and we're not going faster than our speed, then self.y velocity is equal to self.y. Now up is actually negative because 0 is at the top, so it's gonna equal minus self.speed. Well, I cannot type. What just happened? Times our time, and then direction is equal to up. The auto, bro, the auto completion is not helping me at all. Okay, fix that, and then I think we can just pull all of this and copy it. Excuse me. And then we'll go is down, down, and I think this one was supposed to be... So as we're going positive in the x direction, we want to be greater than equal to negative speed. So as we're going down, we want to be greater than equal to negative speed, which means we want to be greater than equal to positive speed here. And this needs to be y velocity, and this also needs to be y velocity. Then our y velocity is going to be adding speed, because as we're going down, we're going further away from 0. And then our direction will be down. And then we need to change the name, because it needs to be... Wait, did I do like a debug? Debug, update, move. So debug, update, velocity, and pull that out. Okay, I think technically we only need those two. So then when we go back to our update, it's a lot of repeat, but I think it'll be worth it later. So basically, if our debug is true, then we just need to call self update or debug update velocity with dt, and then self debug update move with dt. And I think that's all I need. Let's test. I'm not sure everything's gonna work perfectly right away. Okay. So this is without debug mode. So we can move and jump, and we have gravity. And this is debug mode, which I cannot move. False. If state debug mode is true, then self debug update velocity. Do I need physics? I forget what I even do in my physics. Like literally nothing. Did I not save this? No, I saved it. So gravity shouldn't be acting on it. So let me think about this for a second. I feel like there's something here that I'm missing. Because this is like plus gravity. And this is like plus 1. I mean, do I just add a number? Because we do, what do we update first? We update velocity first. Which means that our velocity, yeah. And then we move. And then we move. Oh. Greater than negative. Oh, I see. This needs, okay, well, this needs to be less than. I don't think that's the problem, but that's just something I can fix. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Alright, start the program. Okay, I still can't move. Debug mode off, I can't move. And I have my dash and everything. I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something obvious. Also, I notice my camera freezes every time I open the game. Player debug. Well, I'm not. First of all, let's get rid of this. I don't know what that is even doing, to be honest. Oh, that's for dash. That's for dash. We need that. So let's keep that and throw in that into here. So let's get rid of the white space and C down for velocity. And then for move, we really don't need either of those. Yeah, no. So we should do self debug update velocity. Self debug update move. Take move. Oh. I was missing something really obvious. Let's grab this and just copy it and go debug update move. And this needs to go at the end, because this is where we actually update the X and Y position. Oh, that's so funny. But I think we can just do it like this. Because we still don't care about gravity or anything, so just get rid of all of that. Because why not? And we're missing an end. Okay, so I wasn't actually changing the X and Y values. That's fine. What is this? Player update, debug, update move, check collisions. Yeah, we're not actually checking collisions for right now, so let's just get rid of that. Because I mean, if we're doing like no clip flying, then let's do something stupid. Let's do self.x velocity. So I just want to make sure that's changing. Oh. Okay. Cool. So we have negative and positive. Such a low number. I did get rid of the DT that was normally in. Oops. I did get rid of the DT that was normally in here, but I don't know why this is plus DT and then times. I mean, should I just do times DT? I guess. So times DT times DT. Is that gonna make me like go a billion? No? No. Huh. The X and Y velocity is so low. Minus self.speed. It's like, maybe we should reference what's doing an X x is just self.x plus self.x velocity. Self.x plus self.x velocity times dt. So why is that different from on update move? Oh, is it because? Oh. Interesting. Hey, we could just increase the flat number by like a bunch. Like, what if we just do... Because, I mean, this shouldn't really matter. If I just do like times 10... Because that should be baked into velocity, so I don't really know why I'm doing it twice. So times dt times dt. Maybe, oh, because I don't want it to do 10 pixels every frame or whatever. Why are these numbers so low? I need to increase the velocity. That's what I need to increase. So let's do that first. See, like, regular movement is normally really easy, and I made a really complicated movement for like gravity and friction, and now I'm having trouble reverting back to what was normally. So when keyboard is down, our velocity is our current velocity plus self.speed. I mean, can I just do like times 100? And that'll just be for down, just to try it. That's so weird. Maybe it needs to be plus dt up here. I might need to just look up what the basic thing is, because I'm kind of... Okay. That kind of works. So I don't know why multiplying by dt to print self.y velocity. And then I go like this. If I go down, because when I, oh, it's because is it because when I hold it down? Because I see that when I let go, I see like 3 and 7 and 9 and stuff. Because look how smooth this is. I don't know why that's so smooth. And this isn't on my regular update move. So my regular update move. What if we just do the same thing? Except friction and gravity. We do the same thing, but friction and gravity are essentially disabled. Where did I copy that from? Update move. So debug, update move. So let's grab all of this. And we will paste this in here, except we don't need collision, and we don't need collision, and we don't need collision. And why do you not like these? What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. try that again. So update move is this. Yeah. Here. And then let's take it down to our debug update move. So here. And let's paste it. And this time we will, so we'll just make gravity 1 or something, or 0. So no gravity. And then friction will also be 0. So times 0. And then again, we don't need collisions. So we'll get rid of collisions. And then we don't need collision move X or whatever this is. And then we don't need, so again, this is gravity. So we'll just find wherever it says gravity. We'll just change it to 0. And then we'll change, we'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. Now I don't know at all why. Oh, is this just in the, that would be really embarrassing if this was just in the wrong thing. Update move self.x. No, because that's where we are changing that. We need to do that. Why does it not like... Oh, this is just like... There we go. That was an extra end in there for some reason. So I think we can just get rid of all of this. Because I feel like we're updating that more than we need to. Why is there like 2 different spots for updating X and Y? There we go. Okay, well, left and right works. Or, yeah, Y is a little different. So if Y velocity, I wonder if this is going to be backwards. Keyboard is up if it's less than or equal to our positive speed. But see, speed should be... Okay, so yes. Our velocity should be upwards. I think this is backwards. So I think this needs to be like this. And then this needs to be less than or equal to, because when we're going down, our speed should be positive. So it needs to be less than or equal to our positive speed. Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah. Although we have momentum. Okay, we have, that's working, except we have momentum. So, I wonder if there's a way to say if no key is down. If, I can do if not. So if none of the, oh, this is gonna be so many. If not love.keyboard dot is down left Oh, I think I can wrap it in parentheses. So we'll do this. If not, that. If left isn't down, and love.keyboard dot is, because I don't want like velocity and momentum. I could have just taken that out. I could have just taken out velocity altogether. I kind of like having velocity though. I'll just do a really quick stop. So if right, so basically we're checking if this should be or. This should be or because we're checking if any of them are not. No, we can't check if any of them are not down. That's not how that works. If all of them are not down. Yes, if all of them are not down. No, we... I think... This is gonna sound really dumb. But I think we don't even need velocity. I think we... Well, let's just call this... here. Let's just delete this. Let's just call move. What if we just call move? Because I think I'm way overthinking this. And we copy this. And we do copy. And paste. And this needs to be debug update move. And then it only takes in delta time. And let's just do this can also be deleted. Let's just grab our directional keys. So grab these from here. And basically all we need to do is, if we're pressing the left keyboard, then self.x is equal to self.x plus self. Let's just do like 10 plus delta time. I think it's literally that easy. Although left would be minus. And then times delta time. Like it's just literally gonna be like that. Which is gonna be really funny. And let's do this. And this is gonna be is down right. Then it's gonna be plus 10. And let's just try this. I might have just done so much extra work for no reason. Cool. Cool. Yep. I think we can just change this to self.speed. Although self.speed is like really high because of gravity. Oh my gosh. Oh, we did it. And now we just do vertical. Wow, I wasted so much time on that. That's okay. Let's just grab one of these and paste it in there. And then is down up. Then Y and Y. Now up we need to do minus speed. And then let's grab this, paste it, and down. And this is going to be plus speed, and then let's just format all of this. There we go. Okay, this should be a working debug dev mode. Yes, perfect. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now, if I need to easily get to stuff like this, I can. And then if I want to turn debug mode off, now we have gravity and dashing and jumping. And I can turn it back on, and we have no clipping and flying. Hey. I am pretty proud of that. So debug, so it shows down here, so debug mode on, and debug mode off, and then we're up here on the grass with gravity. Let's go. Alright, let's do git commit. And we'll do added player movement debug functions. Git push. Oh, git push upstream. Debug mode. Nice. Alright, I can check that off now. So we did, so this, where we wanted to move around in all directions. That's good. And because it's so baked into our state, like this toggle can trigger so many things. Like, I guess this is like in any game where you can get like infinite item inventory or something. That's what'll trigger. Although my headphones just died. So we got through. What was the first thing I did? Honestly, don't even remember. Oh, we refactored everything for the object update stuff. So this debug mode thing would be easier in any other like modes we do. So if I search for update, or I think it's object update. Yeah, before there's just like a huge if statement because every object was taking in different things from this state that were local variables. And I quickly realized the more stuff that I keep adding to the states and the more different kinds of objects I have that require different inputs, the longer that like switch or if statement was going to be. So I have no idea if this is good practice, but I'm literally taking the state the player's in and feeding it to that just to pull certain variables. I'm sure I could create some kind of crazy feedback loop or dangerous feedback loop if I start creating players within that reference. Maybe? I don't know. It works right now, and I'm just not going to reference anything themselves within the self-reference, if that makes sense, I guess. But let's go to here. By the way, the next thing we're going to do, since I still have time, is we'll probably look at tiled, just because I know the layered thing is probably going to be pretty easy and not too difficult. Looked at tiled, just because I know the layer. Okay, so we'll do tiled next. Don't want that. Don't want that. Okay. No, I don't want to close you. So let's open up tiled. And let's open up let's just do a new map, and we're gonna do the same tile set. Let's just do like, I don't know, 20 tiles by 10 tiles or something. I think that's the exact width of my screen. Maybe I should do bigger, but we'll do this. And then we'll make some ground. Like this. And the thing is, we should, right now, if it's tile layer 1, in my, where was that file? I think it's in, let's see. Assets? Oh, no, we need the code that handles it. So it's in classes and objects, I guess. No, I don't know where tile handler. So we have a tile. But the tiles get created from the tile handler. So spawn objects, tile handler. There we go. So this is what parses out the Lua file that tiled gives us for a map, basically. Honestly, we'll see how this is, but. So we input a game map here, and we print game map and tile instances. Actually, let's see. This might be where I'm printing out like a bunch of garbage. Yeah, this is for each tile. We're printing out the table instance of it. So I think if I get rid of this, and then I start, I shouldn't see all those tables come up in my terminal. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Cool. Alright. Well, let's see. So we bring in the game map, and then for type index, if the game map at each tile instance, if it's null, then go to continue. For each tile index, because it's layered, so it goes like, I wish there's a better way to debug this. Because I don't have anything. Somewhere in here we should have like, we create a tile based on every entry that tile gives us. The issue is I want to know which layer it's on, so that player can read the spawn tile. Like if I make a tile in here and I go to like, where is it? Let's do import. Let's see. I import a new tile set? Source. Oh, do I only have the one? Oh, wood PNG. We'll call it wood. Yeah, okay. So if I put like this here, oops. How do I get rid of it? Eraser. If I create a new layer, we can call it spawn. And then we just put this here. Or maybe we put it on the other side because I think the enemy spawns here and I don't want to accidentally. There we go. We'll stamp it over here. So basically, I only want to draw these and make them collidable. But then I want to make this the point where the player spawns, but it shouldn't be collidable. It'll be invisible later. These are just the only tiles that I have to work with. Let's see. Let's just export this as... Let's just do this one because I think it's already loaded as map scale 2. So now when I go to here, SDI does not support external tile sets. Oh, I forgot to embed my tile sets. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. How do I do this again? Is it like certain... I remember how to do this. I think if we do save, and then we'll do map with spawn. Maybe it was when I imported. So let's delete this. Let's add a new tile set. It says embedded in map. So open this, embedded in map. So the ID1, ID2, and then export as map scale 2. Should be embedded. Need to embed all tile sets. 67. Does not support external tile sets. Yeah, I shouldn't have it. Is it because it's layered or something? I'm wondering. Oh. There we go. So this one wasn't embedded, I guess. How do I delete this? Edit tile set. Okay, I kind of want to delete this one. Okay, I think it's embedded now. Yeah, so I just needed to embed it, but I'm not sure if I'm doing this the right way to do that. We'll see. If that doesn't work, I think I just, yeah. Could it be layers that's messing it up? Let's just open map. Because this isn't embedded either. New layer, duplicate, remove. No, it can't be that, because this map definitely works. Map with spawn. There's mini map. Tile sets. Wood.tsx. Yes. Okay. I don't know why they're not staying embedded. Very strange. Try this one more time. One more time. And if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna try the layers, I guess. Okay, that worked. Cool. Alright, so it shouldn't be drawing. Why am I still colliding with this? Oh, that's colliding with me. That's why it's that's why it's doing that. Cool. And I shouldn't be. Oh, I am colliding with it. Okay, but at least it's not drawing. That means the layers are working correctly. But we can draw it just so we can see it for right now. Let's go draw. So yeah, we can do game map draw layer game map dot layers spawn, because I think that's all we called it. Game map dot layers, which means but this is gonna be really messy over here. So basically I want to separate it into things that you can collide with and things you can't collide with, etc., etc. So basically for every tile instance, type index. Ooh, okay. Type index at tile index. So I think this goes like 1, 2 now. Ooh, I should try that. Print type idx. I'm sure if I do this, it'll just be 1, 2. Because now there's 2 types, but I feel like they'd be called layers instead. But I did see there's like an ID. Oh, no. I know what that is. That's the tile sprite. That's what that is. So for every sprite of tile, if the game, well, okay, now I'm second guessing things because yeah, no, this should be on. If game map dot tile instances, so when we're in here, all right, let's figure out what tile index is. So print tile index. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 1. Okay. So I think they just all have their own thing. I'm not really sure. Oh, I wrote this one so long ago. Okay. I think we're fine putting our if statement here. And we just do if temp tile dot layer. Oh, this is where a good debugger would help, because I don't know all the ins and outs. I guess I could open the map file. Let's just do that. So we'll do here, and we'll go assets and a sprite tile map, and we are in. Ooh, which one are we in? I guess map scale 2.lua. Yeah, so a bunch of zeros and then a 21. Oops. Ah. Layer type equals tile layer. Name. Here we go. This is what we want. Name. Data. So in layers. Tile. We're immediately looking at .tile instance, so maybe that will give us a clue. So let's search for tile. I don't know how they organize it. Just get rid of the white space. Let me think how I can debug this properly, because I feel like, I mean, I know I can call, like, just for my draw function, I know I can do gameMap.layers. So can I do temp tile? We can delete this. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to make a for loop for each of these. So if game map dot layers, and we do tile layer 1, which is when we want to have collisions, when we want to draw in the background or whatever. If gameMap.layers at is equal to I don't know if I'm thinking about this right, because here we're using this as an index. So gameMap.layers, like, what if I just do like this, tile layer 1, or maybe we should look at the documentation, or we can go to the STI package. Let's do that. Let's do libraries, simple tiled implementation, doc. Okay, that's not what we want. Let's kill this buffer. And let's go to libraries. So main. Draw map, drop points, move map. Mouse pressed, resize. Cool. Let that load map equals this. Oh, I guess maybe this is an example. Yeah. Maybe it's an example. Well, it's not a very good example. Tutorials. Yeah, let's see if we can search for layers. Map. Okay, we can add a custom layer. Add custom layer. New custom layer to our map. This will be used for holding dynamic data that lives on our world. Let's see. Create a new dynamic layer called sprites as the 8th layer. Oh, we can do this after making the tile map? I don't know why we would want to do that. So how do we call the layer? Map add custom layer. Get player spawn object. Local player 4K object map.objects. If object.name equals player. That isn't. What does that even do? Where are you even calling? I guess layer.player. So it's just not entirely how I'm doing it. Remove layer. Remove layer. Yeah, it's not really what I was trying to do. I'm just trying to index into the parsed out file, I guess. Alright, let's kill this. And then see if we can't find like, okay, init.lua. I think this is what we want. So we have a directory, set metatable. Yep. So map init. Self.tile instances, self.resize, self.tiles. Okay, but what's inside? Yes, okay, we're getting closer. So how do we call that? So we can call tile instances, what I'm doing. That's right here. But okay, that's embedded tile sets. Oh, layers. Yes. Okay. This is in so many. Oh my gosh. 4 tile set. If, else if, then files map image for layer in self.layers append layer to layers, set layers. Okay, let's find set layers. Set layers. Like where else am I gonna find what to call here? Why? Oh, this is like really small. So let's pull some of this stuff out. That's better. If layer encoding, base 64, layer.data, local data, layer.x, layer offset, layer update, layer type. Ooh, okay, I think this is what I need. Yes, unless maybe this. Self.layers, layer name. Layer.type. See, I'm wondering if I can't just, I'm wondering if I can't just do here, basically. So, like, if temp tile, like it's saying .x or .y, .layer is equal to layer or a spawn, then that, else it, or I'll just do else this, and so now it shouldn't, let's get rid of this and we'll just print spawn tile for right now. I just want to differentiate between these layers and get a good idea how that's working. So I didn't print anything, but it is drawing. Okay, it shouldn't be drawing that at all. Oh, wait. Okay. No, so that's still getting added to the other one. If temp tile.layer else this end, which is interesting because I feel like this wouldn't. I could just. If I did this for. I don't really care. I'm gonna do like that, and then, or thing in iPairs temp tile, because I think this is still a do print thing. Like it's still a table, so I think I can do this. And just get all the information about it? No. Game mode. Like, what if I do game map? That also doesn't print anything. So I guess this is not a table? No, I should be able to see these. That's a field. Game map, which is a... Yeah, game map should be a table. So it should print everything. What if I do like this? IDX. Game map. No, because I gotta call it by a specific parameter, so that's not gonna work. If I just do print game map dot layer. Man, I don't have my debugging, man. Do I pull this over to VS Code just to debug this one thing? It's kind of fun debugging this in here though. So yeah, so it's a table full of tables. Why was there so many? Wait, GameUp.layers had so many. I wonder if I do this. Let's do debug.debug. I've never used this before, but we're gonna try. So if I do Lua debug and I just say like game map, and let's make this bigger. How do I use this? Game map. Let's see. Oop, that's the wrong Firefox. Debug.debug Lua Emacs. I could do this. This is essentially a breakpoint. If we print n, huh? Oh, love 2D. Let's see what they're saying over here. Let's see. Compilation mode to capture output and hyperlink the error to the source code. I also use fly make Lua. This checks the syntax of your Lua code. That's fine. That's not super helpful, to be honest. How to use debug.debug in terminal. That's another Love 2D forum. Yeah, I have the Lua debug line open. Ooh, I see. We can do. I mean, just doing like print, because I can do print from here, which doesn't help because I can do game map.layers. Debug command attempt to index global game map. Oh, I mean that's not even. Oh, because I have to be in the context of the file. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work very well. Interesting. Yeah, because this has to be like open in the context of the file, which is weird. Can I do like how do I leave? Can I spam stuff? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Well, I could just close this. Not responding. Can I bring you into focus? Okay. We're good. We are good. Alright, I am going to probably end the stream here just because I want to figure out debugging kind of on my own time. Because that's going to be a lot easier to start figuring out what's in these game map tiles and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for anyone who joined. I'll go ahead and end the stream in a couple seconds. But yeah, I really need to get that debugging thing working. Because that's going to make everything so much smoother. But yeah. Bye-bye.